In the ancient land of Uzzias, there lived a man named Job. He was a man of immense wealth, his name spoken with reverence in every corner of the East. His life was a testament to blessing. He had 7 sons and 3 daughters, a family that was the envy of all. His household was vast, his influence unmatched. He was, by every measure, the greatest man among all the people of the East. But Job was more than just a man of fortune. He was a man of deep, unwavering faith. He was blameless and upright, a man who feared God and turned away from evil. His life was a symphony of prosperity and piety, a perfect picture of divine favor. Disaster struck with the speed and fury of a whirlwind. A messenger, breathless and terrified, arrived at Job's home. The oxen were plowing and the donkeys were grazing nearby, and the Sabaeans attacked and made off with them. He stammered, "They put the servants to the sword, and I am the only one who has escaped to tell you." Before he had even finished speaking, another messenger appeared. The fire of God fell from the heavens and burned up the sheep and the servants, he cried. "And I am the only one who has escaped to tell you." The onslaught was relentless. As that man was still speaking, a third arrived. The Chaldeans formed 3 raiding parties and swept down on the camels and made off with them. They put the servants to the sword, and I am the only one who has escaped to tell you. Wave after wave of calamity, each more devastating than the last. But the final blow, the one that would tear the heart from any father, was yet to come. Another messenger, his face a mask of grief, brought the ultimate news of horror. Your sons and daughters were feasting at their oldest brother's house, when suddenly a mighty wind swept in from the desert and struck the 4 corners of the house. It collapsed on them, and they are dead, and I am the only one who has escaped to tell you. In a single day, everything was gone. His wealth, his legacy, his children, all wiped away. Job stood up, tore his robe in grief, and shaved his head. He fell to the ground, not in anger, but in worship. And in the depths of his anguish, he uttered words that would echo through eternity. "Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I shall depart. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. May the name of the Lord be praised." In all this, Job did not sin by charging God with wrongdoing. His faith, though tested by fire, did not break. But the trial was not over. The celestial challenger spoke again. "A man will give all he has for his own life. But no, stretch out your hand and strike his flesh and bones, and he will surely curse you to your face." And once again, God allowed it. Permission was given for a new level of suffering, one that would attack the very core of Job's being. Only his life was to be spared. A new torment began. Painful sores erupted all over Job's body, from the soles of his feet to the crown of his head. He was a pariah, an outcast. He sat among the ashes, scraping his inflamed skin with a piece of broken pottery. His body was a landscape of agony. His own wife, seeing his misery, came to him and said, "Are you still maintaining your integrity? Curse God and die." But Job, even in this state, rebuked her. "You are talking like a foolish woman. Shall we accept good from God and not trouble?" In all this, Job did not sin in what he said. They painted God as a strict accountant, doling out punishment for wrongdoing. "Think now," one of them said, "who, being innocent, has ever perished?" They pressed him. They questioned his integrity. They turned the knife of his grief. For weeks, Job defended himself. He cried out to the heavens, pleading his case not against God, but against the injustice of his suffering. His words were raw, filled with the anguish of a soul in torment. "Why did I not die at birth?" he lamented. He was a man drowning in a sea of pain, with no shore in sight. His friends offered easy answers, but Job's reality was far more complex, far more terrifying. He felt abandoned, a target for divine arrows. He wasn't perfect, but he knew his suffering was disproportionate to any sin he might have committed. He was caught in a cosmic drama he couldn't comprehend, a pawn in a game played by forces beyond his understanding. The darkness was absolute, the silence from heaven deafening. Then, after the silence, after the flawed counsel and the desperate cries, God answered. But not with an explanation, not with a neat and tidy reason for the suffering. He answered out of a whirlwind, a powerful, awe-inspiring storm. He did not justify his actions. Instead, he revealed his majesty. "Where were you when I laid the earth's foundation?" God thundered. "Tell me, if you understand, who marked off its dimensions? Surely you know. Who stretched a measuring line across it?" God's voice boomed, painting a picture of a universe vast, complex, and beautiful beyond human comprehension. He spoke of the dawn, the sea, the storehouses of snow and hail. He spoke of the constellations, of lions hunting their prey, of the wild donkey set free. He revealed a world operating on a scale and wisdom so far beyond Job's perspective. It was humbling. It wasn't an answer to why, but a revelation of who. It was a reminder that the universe does not revolve around one man's comfort or understanding. God's purpose was infinitely larger, his wisdom infinitely deeper. In the face of this overwhelming display of divine power and wisdom, Job was silenced. His arguments, his complaints, his desperate need for answers, they all melted away. He saw his own smallness, his own limited perspective. "I am unworthy," he finally replied. "I have spoken of things I did not understand, things too wonderful for me to know." He placed his hand over his mouth. The need for an explanation was replaced by an encounter with the inexplicable. The desire for justice was replaced by awe. In that moment of surrender, Job's transformation began. He repented, not for some secret sin, but for his own limited view of God. He had heard of God with his ears, but now his eyes had seen him. His faith was no longer based on blessings or transactional piety. It was forged in the fire of suffering and anchored in the raw, untamable majesty of the Creator. And then the storm passed. The dark clouds that had enveloped Job's life began to part. The trial was over. God restored Job's fortunes, giving him twice as much as he had before. His family and friends returned, bringing comfort and gifts. And God blessed him with 7 more sons and 3 more beautiful daughters. Job lived for another 140 years, a long and full life. He saw his children and their children to the 4th generation. The story of Job is not a simple tale about why good people suffer. It's a profound journey into the heart of faith itself. It's about finding God not in the absence of pain, but in the midst of it. It's about trading our demand for answers for a posture of awe and trust. Job's story reminds us that even when life feels like a raging storm, when all is lost and hope seems gone, the sun will eventually break through the clouds. And the God who commands the whirlwind is also the God who brings the morning.